Morning, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is Monday. Welcome to Monday, and we are, I think, episode 221, which is ridiculously crazy and kind of fun. I think it feels like I don't know. It feels like these episodes have been going on for forever. Hey, Kim, in a really good way, of course. Like not good way, in a really good way. Morning, Georgina. What I wanted to chat with you a little bit about today. I've just been doing some journaling, and I don't know how you guys go on the school holidays. I find it really interesting in school holidays to kind of keep on track in terms of more of my morning routine. So typically what happens, like my morning routine looks like I'll do my 6 a.m. call, we'll go for a walk. That still happens, no problem at all. Because I'm not doing the school run, I'm not already out and about, and then I usually go straight to the gym and, then I'll journal at the gym. Hey, Tamara, journal at the gym, and then come home and coffee running and rah. So this morning, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little bit discombobulated. I'm not as, for me, I really find that the discipline creates freedom for me. I really thrive on structure. I also like the ability to be able to kind of ad-lib throughout my day, if you like. But I do really find school holidays a little bit different. I'm not sure if you guys are the same or if it's just me. Having said that, I don't know if you guys have seen the Headspace push-up challenge that's going on. A friend of mine tagged me in it. Actually, a roller derby friend of mine tagged me in it. And so today, whilst I didn't go to the gym, I did do 155 push-ups. All before 10 a.m. Just saying. So, whilst I didn't go to the gym, I still did that, and I like it because there's that, whatever the number is. Oh, no, sorry, 115. I got my numbers wrong. 115 push-ups on my knees. I didn't do them on my toes. I'm not, my arms aren't quite there yet. You see how quickly I put my arm down? That's a little bit embarrassing. For those of you who are listening to audio, you might need to come back over to the Facebook video and look at it about 4 minutes in, and you'll see my spaghetti arms that are growing their muscles. I'm really proud of my arms. They're getting stronger and stronger every day, and that's what I keep writing into my journal anyway. But I think the thing that I was thinking about, I've done my push-ups and then I've come back and I put my focus timer on to do my journaling. And it always, it's the kind of thing that surprises me, yet shouldn't really surprise me about the stuff that kind of comes out of our journal, right? And the thing that came up and out of it for me, the question I put in here for myself is, do I feel like I've been going all in? Do I feel like I have been playing full out? And some of the things that I think about when I'm doing my journal prompts are perhaps some things that I might say to you guys. Like if we're in a coaching relationship, or if you're in my 30 days of journaling for success free program. It's not really a program, the free email thing that I'm doing at the moment. We'll be chatting about that over in the private Facebook group. The public Facebook group later. But some of the prompts that I'll give you guys are designed to get you thinking. And so, if I'm going to do that to you, then I've got to be willing to do it for myself, right? Otherwise, to me, that's kind of like, not walking your talk. You've, in my opinion, you've really got to be doing the things that you're asking your people. When we're in the transformation space, if you're in the space of brain surgery, I don't expect you to get your people to do brain surgery. That would be ridiculous. But you get the point. So for me, I'm like, all right, so do I feel like I've been holding back? And it's like, no, I don't think I have been. And then I wrote, so what would I say if I felt like I needed to just, blah. What did I write? I said, am I holding back in any way? I don't really think I am. But if I was opening up more, what would that look like? And I was talking about perception. So my husband and I, we went out for a coffee this morning, and we've walked into the cafe and the coffee shop, and the lady's gone, oh, are you still here? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, you're still here. How long have you been here for? And I said, well, oh, did you not know I live here? And she said, no. I said, oh, really? She goes, yeah, I thought you were from Melbourne. And I've gone, oh, bless. No, I know I might not appear to be from here, but I am from here. It's a really interesting kind of thing. So I was writing about perception, and I was writing about how, in my mind, one of the things that I really want is I want to be able to move. And the beautiful thing about building this business the way that I have, and the way that I know the majority of you guys are building your business, is that it's transportable, right? Or it's online. So we can do what it is that we want to do no matter where it is that we live. Thank God, because, I do live in the middle of nowhere. But I thought that perception thing was really interesting. And then I've gotten kind of into this, why, I was thinking about moving and how we hold back from doing what it is that we really want. And so I kind of unpacked this a little bit. And I've gone, well, you know what, I could move on my own, which is not an option, like without my husband and without my children. And for me, that's just not a thing. And I'm like, well, I could move with my kids. It's like, yeah, that's not an option for me either. I could just go without anyone. Not really an option. The only way that I would move would be if everybody moves. And it's just kind of like, we've always got choices, and that's the choice that I'm making. That's the choice that I'm willing to make. Like to move as everybody moves, not just me moving on my own. And there's a whole bunch of circumstances around why we haven't done that yet, and what it would look like if we did do that, and so on and so forth. So I think the other thing that then gave rise to, though, was I was like, you know what, I just got to kind of squash that dream. I've got to, put that aside and rah. And it's like, well, how often have I played down this desire to move? And then I've gone, oh my God, I haven't really played it down, but then I'm also kind of like shitting in my own nest, right? Because you've heard me, like I grumble about living in the middle of nowhere. But we've got beautiful sun today. We have more sunlight days. We've always got sun, but you know what I mean. We've got more blue skies than Queensland, which is just delightful. It is freaking freezing out there, but it looks really lovely through the windows. So I was just kind of like, oh my God, like that's really terrible. And I'm really grateful for where we live. I love our home. I love the environment. I really do like it. I'm not in love with where we live. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Like, have you been shitting on your money? Do you shit where you live? And it's interesting because I've had some clients over in the last week who have gone, oh, I've just got a new client, but they're on a payment plan, or I just got this stuff in, but, or, I tried to manifest this, but I only got this. And it's like, well, you've just kind of shat on everything that you've just created. We've got to be really mindful about being grateful for what it is that we do have come through. It's not about settling, right? It's about just going, I'm so incredibly grateful for all of this. And then what all of this kind of led into is, what else have we not been saying? And this is something that I really like from a marketing perspective. This is really, really important for you guys to, in my opinion, for you to take on. What have you not been saying about your industry, the people in your industry, the way that things work, the status quo, things outside of your industry, anything like that? And, like the things that I wrote in here is that what is it that you really feel like you want to say and share? That you hate mediocrity, that you think farmers should go suck a big fat one, that sugar isn't the enemy, that sugar isn't the enemy. Right? That religion is good or bad or otherwise, that science is the only thing that you can rely on, that people are inherently good. What do you feel like in your head and in your heart that really needs to be said? And the thing that I started writing in mine is just like how there is so much bullshit in this industry, and it really pisses me off, that the magic pills that are being sold out there, whether it's free or whether it's paid for, are not magic pills. Like, you are the magic pill. You are the magic pill. And I think the thing, like once you kind of go, oh yeah, you know what? It's up to you. It is up to you. This gig, this entrepreneurial life is not for the faint-hearted. And if you don't have the grit, and if you don't have tenacity, and if you don't have resilience, and if you don't have commitment, and if you're unwilling to keep getting back up every time you get knocked down or get knocked back, or like things don't grow as fast as what they want, then you're not going to fucking make it. You know, a magical funnel program is not going to solve it for you. Going to an upbeat seminar where you get like revved up and amped and motivated and inspired is not going to fix it for you. My event is not going to fix it for you if you don't do the work. Like none of the stuff that is out there on the shelf is not going to help you. So it's kind of like if you're hungry and if you go to a supermarket and let's say you've got $5 and you see a can of soup on the shelf and you're like, oh my God, I'm so fucking hungry. And then you buy that can of soup and then you get it home and then you sit it on the bench and you look at it like, you don't get full by osmosis, right? It doesn't work like that. If you don't take the action to peel back that can or however I don't even know how you open a can of soup. However you open that can of soup, if you don't actually open that can and consume it, guess what? It's just going to stay in the fucking can. The can is not some magical unicorn that is going to all of a sudden get rid of your hunger just by looking at it. And I think this is the thing that really fucking shits me about all of these things that are going on out in the industry where people are like, you can make 6 figures just really easily just by doing this. You can make 7 figures. You know, my journaling for success email prompts are not a magic pill. They'll get you thinking, but if you don't open the email, if you don't read the prompt, if you don't open your journal and start journaling, guess what? It's not going to freaking work. Like it doesn't, manifestation doesn't work by just going, okay, I would like $100,000 in my account, please. And then sitting back and watching Netflix on the couch. You know, you've got to take the action to make it happen. And I think to me, it's just like there is so much crap out there where people are selling this laptop life illusion, although the laptop life stuff seems to have like eased off a little bit, thank God. But really, you know, we can see this with people who sell fancy websites. We see this with people who sell fancy photo shoots. Like a fancy photo shoot is not going to get you clients, right? You know that, right? Professional photos don't get you clients. Yeah? Having a fancy website does not get you clients. If your message is not aligned, if you don't know who your clients are, if you haven't got a framework to layer your own stuff in, like the best photo on the planet might get you some views, it might get you some eyeballs, but if it's not doing, if the rest of it isn't there, then it doesn't mean shit. You know, I've been on Koshi's, this is the thing, that the woman in the coffee shop said to me today. She goes, but you're on TV. And I said, yeah, but I just fly in. You know, she'd had this, I don't know how she had the opinion of me, but it was really kind of funny. You know, being on television doesn't instantly magnetize clients to you. It gets you it's beautiful. It's great for the ego. It's great for positioning. It's great for saying, you know what, I actually am an expert in what it is that I do, or providing a bit of a bolstering, a reinforcement, right, for your status as an expert. But it doesn't make you an instant expert just because you've been on television. If you've got no substance, it doesn't do shit. You know, really, at the end of the day, this is where all of those PR programs, it's where these business schools, or, you know, just go and do a life coaching course and instantly, like, all your troubles will go away. You know, it's just not the way that it is. And so for me, as I was writing all this stuff down, I was just kind of like, rah! And I got really fired up because I'm like, there is so much stuff that I haven't shared that I don't say. And it's not for fear of rocking the boat because I couldn't really give a flying shit. And it's not about not saying stuff because I'm worried about how people are going to react, because like, I don't care. You react how you're going to react. You'll either like what I have to say or you won't, and that's fine. You might press stop on the audio. You might bounce out of the live. You might love it. You might come back later. You know, it's not my job to tone down my opinions or what I think to try and, like, in an effort to try and please everybody. And this is what I want you guys to be thinking about. You know, if you were not afraid of a reaction, negative or positive, if you are unafraid and completely fearless around saying what needs to be said, around sharing the truth the way that you see it, whether, you know, like I said in the example, that maybe sugar isn't actually evil the way that it's being portrayed in the media. I don't believe that, but you might believe that. Go talk about it. Talk about why, you know, have some substance behind it, you know, and be able to explain and articulate why you think this is. But really, at the end of the day, your job is to be able to share the things that you believe to be true about whatever it is that you're doing. And it's okay sometimes you might be a bit contradictory. Like today, I'm a huge fan of frameworks. I think frameworks, while we're building and practicing and working out and kind of like trying to feel where we sit and fit in an industry or where we fit with our marketing, particularly when we're wanting to scale things up. The voice coaches call it the pocket, right? So while you're trying to find your pocket, it's kind of like we need a framework to be able to rely on, right? So we've got this framework and we start layering you in. And then that's where you find your voice, right? Your voice, your pocket, your sweet spot, your tone, the way that you're going to deliver, the way that like the pieces of your personality that you're going to amp up and amplify and really push out. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in that kind of area all the time. You can also then share these parts of you, the other sides of you. I think it's actually really important to show that we're not just one-sided, right? This is why sharing photos or posts about perhaps what you've done on the weekend. Like I had a message on Saturday from a lady who said, I've sent you an email. It'd be great if we could talk on Monday, blah, blah, blah. And I said, great to hear from you. I'm not back into my emails till Monday. I'll catch up with you then, right? I've been hanging out with my kids this weekend. My husband came home yesterday. We've been hanging out. You know, it's all of this kind of stuff. And I think it's really crucial and critical that you share with your people where you're at, what you're not in great detail necessarily, all the things that you're doing, unless you feel like doing that. But the big thing is that you've got to be okay with being able to share your voice, with sharing your message. Don't play down those things that you might think, maybe that's a little bit controversial. Or maybe people will tune out. Maybe people won't like it. Because the interesting thing that happens is that people actually kind of go, oh, wow, I didn't know that about you. That's a huge thing that makes you different compared to everybody else. That's a massive thing that is so fucking important in here. And it needs to be shared and needs to be said. The only other thing that I wanted to say about that is that, you know, it's important for us to find our voices, right? It's important for us to be able to form and articulate our opinions. It's also important in my opinion, right, to use a demonstration, that we also have a way of being able to create our own way of describing our process, our own way of articulating what it is that we do and how it is that we do it. And being able to then, you know, kind of take that, I guess, and then use it in the world of marketing. So marketing is anything that you put up. So it's your posts, it's your opinions, it's your videos, it's your live streams, it's your picture quotes, it's the photos of you out with your family on the weekend, it's the photos of coffee, it's the cup you use, you know, everything like that. It all helps people form a perception about you and form an opinion about you, like this girl in the coffee shop this morning. Whether it's right or wrong, you know, and I guess in my head, I'm always like, oh, well, you know, I feel like I didn't grow up here, so I don't feel like I'm an actual Mildura person. I didn't grow up here. And I guess that's the thing, you know, sometimes that's that vibe, yeah? Your vibe attracts your tribe. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about today, you know, around this finding your pocket and the vehicle that you use. So you might find that right now, the vehicle that you're using to do your work, to do your purpose work is one thing, and it might evolve and change. So when I worked for Westpac for 12 years and I loved it. Like I loved it. Tamara, it takes time. Yeah, absolutely. But for me, I remember coming home, I was doing home loans for people back then, and it was all about, you know, really empowering them to find the best and right thing for them. And sometimes that would mean me counseling people, not really counseling people, but if they were looking at investment properties and they're like, oh, I saw this, that, and the other, I'm like, well, okay, let's just actually go through and make sure that this fits with what you want. And we looked at, like, a lot of people didn't understand negative gearing, for instance. So this is not advice. This is just a general observation, okay, about my stuff. So I remember coming home and saying to my husband, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted, but I've had the best freaking day. I had really great people in my office. I'd never say who it was because #privacy, and it's a small town. So, but I would be like, this is why I'm here. Like, this is what I've been put on earth to do. It's this work. Like, this is fun. I love the shit out of this. And so, like, that was the vehicle at that time for me to connect with people and inspire them and help them. And then that vehicle kind of ran out of fuel for a bunch of different reasons. And that was no longer the best way for me to be able to do my stuff. To fulfill my purpose, really, is the way that I kind of look at it. And so a new vehicle came, which is like this vehicle. I did have another little vehicle that was kind of like my weekend vehicle that I learned, like I cut my teeth in that little vehicle. More like a moped. So this other little moped, I was importing jewelry and selling it around the country wholesale and doing markets and selling market, you know, concepts and stuff like this. Was so good. But I guess like that little moped that I learned to drive on, and then I had to trade in the vehicle, like the bank vehicle, for my own vehicle. And so that's how this business was then created. And I guess like the thing is that as we keep going forward and as we keep learning and as we keep practicing and committing, like really the commitment is that you need to show up and do the work that you feel like you're here to do on a daily basis. What is the message that needs to be shared? How are you going to share that? What are you going to say to your hot, cold clients who are out there on the other side waiting? What do you need to do to activate them, to motivate them, to inspire them, to heal them, to help them, to whatever it is that you do? Like right now, the vehicle that you're using is the vehicle for now. But we also don't know what new vehicle we might then trade up to later on down the track. Tomorrow, I've just seen the rest of your comment pop up. It takes time. I feel like I'm finding my pocket and giving myself the time to do what feels right. So what if I need to trial things for a year or two? If I then find my most authentic way of communicating and get comfortable with our you, anyone will be unstoppable. Exactly, right? That's exactly kind of what I'm saying, right? But it's kind of like we all get caught up, and this is again a reflection of the industry where they're like, you've got to live your purpose and you've got to live your calling and this, that, and the other, and that's great. But what they don't really talk about is that the vehicle in which we facilitate that can change. And yes, I do believe that you've got to be like the vehicle that you're in. You absolutely have to develop grit and resilience and tenacity, and that I'm not fucking giving up, because sometimes like that petrol light comes on in that car and you're like spluttering, trying to get to the next, trying to get to the next service station or the gas station, and it's fucking exhausting. I get it. But then you top up with your petrol, right? And you refuel, and sometimes that's about having a really amazing person that you don't even expect coming in and saying, hey, I love what you're doing such a great fucking job, and then that lights you up and that fuels you on. Or maybe a client gets a really great result, or maybe a brand new person comes in and they're like, dude, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but you are fucking amazing, shut up and take my money. And you're just like, yeah, let's go. And then that fuels your car until you get to the next thing. Now, it doesn't mean that in between those fuel stations, those gas stations, that you might not get a little bored, right? You might have to play some car cricket and just be like, oh my God, kill me now. You might have to play Spotto, or you might have to play, that thing where it's like, oh, I Spy with my little eye. Sometimes those games can be really boring and mundane. And then other times the scenery is just absolutely breathtaking and you're on the ride of your life. But for you to be successful in business, you've got to be willing to kind of like push through those days where you don't really feel like driving anymore. And sometimes you can pull over and have a little micro nap. We all know that, microsleeps, we want to pull over before you have a microsleep, because microsleeps kill. We want to pull over, have a bit of a rest, and then get back in the car and keep going. Now, if you find that your car is kind of becoming a little bit decrepit, and it really doesn't light you up, and you know what, really this particular vehicle is no longer the right vehicle for you, then it's okay to trade it in. It's okay to trade it up. Just bear in mind and just really think about it. Am I doing this because it's what feels right, or am I doing it from a place of ego? Are you trading up that car because you think it's going to get you there faster or harder or better, or, you're going to look better in it? Because no one gives a flying shit about the vehicle. They just want the thing that you do, right? They just need you to be you. So today we had all of the metaphors. I hope that was fun. I trust that was fun for you, and that you got out of that whatever it was that you needed. I'm going to write this up as a blog today because I've written it all in my journal. I can't remember everything that I wrote because that's just kind of how the journaling process works, right? But the thing that I really want to leave you with is that sometimes if you don't know where you're going, then you need a map, right? And to play into this whole car analogy thing again, sometimes you need a map so that you know where it is that you're going to go. And then in the car, you can play your own music, you can play your own games, you can have whoever you want in that car supporting you. But a lot of the time we need the framework in order to be able to find our voice. So that's what Visible Live is all about. So yes, I am unashamedly, I am going to talk with you about Visible Live. So let me just put the little link in here because it's a lot of fun. And Tamara, you were there for, that's not what I want to say. That didn't paste at all. Oh my God, maybe I'm going to do it later. So Visible Live is a 3-day immersion event where we are going to create your framework, right? So that you can absolutely get what it is that you need to get out there, whilst allowing you the space for you to be able to layer in everything that you want, so that you can, test and try some stuff, but most importantly, be able to kind of come back and go, yeah, this is what I need to say. This is what I need to do. This is the way that I need to share it and say it so that it does activate your people. Because that's really the thing, right? The message, whatever the message is important and great and necessary. We also, to me, it's kind of like, it's no good just going out there and saying blah, blah, right? And then leaving it at that. You've got to be able to talk about how it relates to your people and how it helps your people and how it's going to help them achieve whatever it is that they want. And then that's really where the value is. Right? If we think about value, nothing has value unless someone thinks that it's valuable, right? They need to be able to have the insights. They need to be able to have the breakthroughs. They need to be able to have or get whatever it is out of it that they get. And that's experiencing a transformation. That's either, what that means is that they're either having their problems solved, or you are helping them to achieve their goals, dreams, and desires. So either or both of those things need to be addressed in all of your content. So your message has got to be solving a problem, or it's got to be helping people get their goals, dreams, and desires. So what Visible Live does for you is it solves a problem of marketing overwhelm. It solves this problem of like, where the heck is my pocket? Now your pocket for now is where your pocket is. And then we've got to just work out how to get your voice working for within that. But then also the beautiful thing about the stuff that you'll learn in Visible Live is where you're going to be able to apply that no matter what vehicle you use, right? So if you decide to take that vehicle to the wreckers and trade it up for another one, then the framework doesn't change if your niche changes or if your message changes or with what you want to do changes. It supports you all the time. It's this really beautiful foundation. So if you're listening on the audio, the link for that is www.nicolamoras.com.au/rockstar, because that's the whole theme around this event. It's about marketing yourself like a rock star. And you know what rock stars do. They can't get up on stage and be worried about people walking out of a stadium. They can't be worried about if they're going to have a wardrobe malfunction. Their job is to be professional, to show up and deliver the best fucking show that they could possibly do. And that's really what we need to have a look at for you on a daily basis with your marketing. It's about you showing up, doing the best damn job that you can possibly do, and doing that every day, because that's what your people are looking for, right? They're looking for you to show up and shine and help inspire and motivate and educate them. All right? So that's that. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Tamara says, absolutely worth attending. The people are incredible. The frameworks make everything simple and straightforward. It's practical and make what you can feel overwhelming when you know zilch really doable. Oh, I couldn't have paid you to say that. What a timely, a perfect timing for you to join us today. Thanks for saying that. It was really beautiful. All right, everybody, have a great and wonderful Monday. I will chat with you tomorrow for our Visible Live, the awesome show at 9 a.m. And I've decided this morning when I did my planner, we're going to talk about playing small and how we play big. Because, we're in freaking July, right? We're halfway through the year. And I know if you guys are anything like me, that I declared this year was going to be the best year yet. The best year yet, the most fun year yet. Funnest? This year was going to be the year I had the most fun, and all of that. So you can if you like to. Just kidding, it's worth it, and I hope people who are undecided just do it. Oh, me too. I mean, it's the kind of thing, I wrote this I had a little note in my phone earlier this weekend where it's like, the tickets are $2,500 for the 3 days, just so that you're completely aware. And I know that from that, it gets turned into 25 grand, it can turn into $250,000, it can turn into $1 million or more. I've had clients do over $1 million in sales using the stuff that we'll talk about over those 3 days. I've had people make tens of thousands of dollars. I've had people make nothing. So we're clear, right? If you don't do anything with the stuff, it's like the can of soup sitting on the shelf when you're hungry and you put it on the bench. If you don't do anything with it, it doesn't fucking work. So you've got to work it, right? It's not a magic pill because you are the magic pill. But if you really are looking for something that is timeless and not just another stupid ass marketing trick or hack that only works for the next 5 minutes and then you have to rebuy the next thing or whatever so that you can stay up with the algorithm. That's not what this is about. It's about timeless marketing strategies that serve to highlight your voice, highlight what it is that you're all about and your point of difference so that you stand out, so that people see that and that you're seen as being unique and that you're fucking amazing. So I am so happy that you were here today. Have an amazing Monday. I can't wait to chat with you tomorrow about playing big and go out there and kick some ass. Go help some people. Have fun doing it. Mwah. Remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. All right? You're a rock star and a badass, and I love you, and I can't wait to see what you do. Okay.